only that, Fred, but what's nice about this and why I'm able to do this, I mean, here's a person that had the meat and the chicken and everything, and I stopped almost overnight. You know, from the juicing to when I met Fred, I said, okay, no more meat. Maybe I've had meat twice since I've met Fred, right. Which is in 2 months from now. What's nice is that my wife has now adopted this plan. Not 100% because she doesn't have a disease, but I mean, 90% of what I'm following, my wife follows with me.
Wonderful.
Which is fantastic. She's losing weight. She's feeling great. What I didn't mention is that I've lost 30 pounds since I discovered that my CEA level back in May was at a level that I need to be concerned about. And I feel great about that.
Now, that was 30 pounds you didn't need.
That's correct. And according to the tables that I've looked up, I'm still right in the middle of the guidelines for somebody my size.
You know, I'd like to interject something. See, that's part of the problem when people really start to eat real well. The average person our size perception of what a person should really look like is really to see a person that's probably 10 or 15 pounds overweight. And when a person has had a major problem and they start to lose weight, right away people think that they're succumbing to whatever the problem was. Actually, it's much healthier for us to be leaner. And most of the time when a person is really healthy and eating a real good diet, the average person is going to think they're too thin, which is not really the case. Plus, they also think that being that the person is getting leaner, they're losing the reserves in case they run into a major problem. It's not the case at all. Actually, you have less of a chance of running into a major problem. You won't, when somebody tries to fatten himself up to deal with a problem when it arises, actually what they're doing, they're causing that situation to happen sooner. They don't realize it. It doesn't mean that you have to be thin and eat well. There's plenty of people that eat well and are not on the slender side. They could still be. You can adjust the diet to a person. Say, if a young fellow wants to work out weight, you can adjust it so they can have some body mass. You know, I don't recommend that people eat the type of diet to make them become huge, because that type of diet, the optimal diet for growth is not the optimal diet for health. It wouldn't be a good diet for a guy like Jack, that's for sure.
Yeah. Jack, since your operation and removal of half your liver, have you had any tests since then on your liver? What are the indications? Or is that too soon to...
I had a blood test taken this week and haven't had the results back. I was hoping to have them prior to this meeting. And next week I'm going for a follow-up CAT scan. And then the following week I'm going to bring the CAT scan and the results of the blood test to the surgeon in New York. And I'm real positive that he's going to say, this is fine, and hope we never see you again, and lots of luck. And I'm sure he's going to say, have you thought about going for the chemo, just for the maintenance part of it? Where I can see his point. I mean, because it does work for probably the majority of the people. And as was explained to me, it doesn't work for everybody. And if it didn't work for me, given a 95% chance, I just feel that I need additional help.
Now, for the viewing audience, we already went over your eating program prior, which led you to where you are, which is, I suspect, an eating program of 95% of the people that are watching tonight. And that's what they eat. You run to the fast food restaurants and eat a lot of the pizzas and
chicken wings
and the steak now and then, and so on and so forth. But give us an example, without being too specific, if you care not to. But give us an example now how your eating program has changed. What are you eating now? Because you look terrific. I mean, there's no question about that. I mean, as I said earlier, boy, I would never know that you have gone through a medical trauma like this. You just appear to be extremely healthy. So what does breakfast look like? Lunch? Tell me what you do now.
I'm following Fred's guidelines as closely as I can. Again, only 4 or 5 months ago, I was one of those other folks out there. Basically, my breakfast is real simple. It's either 1 pound of a combination of either cantaloupe or some type of melon, and that's all. Following the guidelines, one of the things that I think contributes to losing the weight, and also my stomach is soft for the first time that I can remember, is that there's no drinking with any meal, which everybody's used to. I mean, I go and see the people at work, and we're at lunch, and everybody's gulping it down because they think it's helping them digest the food. And I sort of tell them, and
they have a tough time understanding.
Right, because they haven't been there.
Sure.
So my breakfast is either 1 pound of fruit or up to a pound of fruit, and know it, which takes about an hour to cook in the morning. So I'll have that with some rice stream and a little bit of syrup.
So your choice is not to you're using rice milk, as it's called, or rice stream as a substitute for regular milk.
Correct.
Okay.
But you're picking one of those. You're not eating all those things together. You're either having the fruit or you're having the...
That's correct.
Yeah, right.
One or the other.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so you'll alter it a little bit to get some variety in there.
I always have or I try to have a helping of brown rice daily. I think that's important not only from what I've read from Fred, but also some other books. I've been reading a lot, and brown rice seems to be a staple for people who want to be healthy. So I'm attempting to have brown rice and also steamed vegetables. I bought myself an electric steamer. Makes it real simple to do the rice and the vegetables. So between the green vegetables with the rice, that's like 2 of my meals. And then I'll alternate between have an acorn squash, which is one of my favorite that my wife makes.
So whatever you're doing is very attainable here, and it's delectable, and your wife likes it also. And
that's correct. Plus we went out and we have this 400-page book on vegetarian cooking, so we're experimenting.
Well, John, you're just a remarkable encouragement to thousands of people that will be watching the program. I want to thank you for coming on today and sharing your life with us and your recovery and so on. And we want to encourage you folks that you can eat your way to health. You can follow a program also.